Bam. My peoples. My peoples. Happy Saturday, y'all. Yes, sir. I'd like to say it's a beautiful Monday morning, a beautiful Saturday morning. Um, yes, it's cloudy. Yes, it's looking like it's going to rain. But still a beautiful day, nevertheless. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. My peoples, this is a special edition. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Having said that, we got some good fights on our hands. We're going to get some action, which, by the way, this action is going to be early. Do not miss it. Tends to happen from time to time. So, Joseph Parker and Fabio Wardley, they're going to go at it. The two heavyweights are the main event. So, I know a lot of people are pretty much writing Wardley off. Like, nah, Parker's going to get him out of there. He's going to make it look easy. I don't think it's going to be that simple. I do understand and I agree. Joseph Parker is and should be the favorite for different reasons. He, beaten better opponents. He's more experienced. But when you look at a guy like Fabio Wardley, he's 19-0. He's never tasted defeat. He can fight. He got some serious power. Serious power. So to say that he's just going to get washed and made to look easy, to me, that's crazy. We're going to get this fight. I think the card starts like at 11 in the morning Eastern time. So check your local listings, my peoples, because I've been the victim of that in the past, where I think a fight is at night. Go out, hang out, do what I got to do, get back, let me go watch my fight. When I tune in, I run into the highlights. Oh, the fight was in the afternoon? Missed it. So my people, this fight is early. Which, by the way, I will be calling Wardley versus Parker live. I'm going to be calling it. Y'all know how I do, my people. Come on now. You know how I do this. So I'm going to be bringing you the action. So check it, my people. Right now, Fabio Wardley's record is 19-0 with 18 knockouts. He got one draw. How exactly do we see a guy like that and say he's just gonna get washed? He's just gonna get cooked. Look, my people, that's Fabio Wardley. That's his record. So yes, he's not, beating world champions, and hasn't fought the best out there. But one thing that you see clearly from his power, from his record, he got power. And when a guy has, that type of knockout percentage, what that tells you is that it takes one punch for the whole outcome of the fight to change, for the tide to switch in his favor. Young Guns, Jay Smith, it looks like snow in DR from thumbnail. Man, listen, we ain't never gonna see snow out here. That's for sure. It ain't happening. But super, super cloudy out here. The skies are gray, my brother. So, what's your predictions on Wardley versus Parker? How do you have this fight playing out? Age is 17, like Deontay Wilder. You see? And Wilder is someone that you have to give him a lot of credit for, because you guys know he started boxing late. He accomplished a lot anyways. There were multiple fights that he was losing. And he found a way to land that big shot, boom, and it was over. The first time that he fought King Kong Ortiz, he was losing that fight. And he ended it with that right hand. Agent 17, Parker, decision. Oh, you think it goes the distance, huh? Yeah, me and Deontay Wilder started late. Look, Wilder, and there's been other fighters, not the only one. There's been a bunch of other fighters who started late and was able to accomplish. That's what I tell people. It's not about, you have a huge advantage. Don't get it twisted by starting early. Huge advantage. If someone start boxing 7 years old, 8, 9, even earlier, some kids 5, 6. If you start like that, it's a whole different ballgame because your body is growing while you're adapting to these movements, to these things. So your hand-eye coordination is gonna be at another level, and there's gonna be certain things, your mechanics, the way that is just gonna be different because you started so young, and it's part of the way that your body developed. But it doesn't mean that you can't start late and accomplish in the world of boxing. It can happen. Takes a lot of hard work and dedication. That's for sure. Now, I'll tell you what, Wardley versus Parker, uh, I don't know if it goes the distance, man. I don't know. Here's why I think this fight could end up in a stoppage. Again, look at the record, right? He's 19-0 with 18 knockouts. Fabio Wardley is. And I think Joseph Parker is going to be the better boxer in the ring. He's going to be the guy, using that jab, using the movement, using the footwork. Fabio Wardley is going to have to press the action. He's going to have to. And Joseph Parker, he'll box you, but he can bang. He'll stand there and trade with you. He'll make you miss, make you pay, that kind of deal. So I think the way that Wardley's going to press the action is going to turn into a slugfest. And because of that, I don't know if this fight goes the distance. I don't know, my people. Honestly, this is a tough fight, man. This is a tough fight, and I've said this before, ladies and gentlemen. How do we see an undefeated fighter and just think that he's getting washed? You've never seen him lose. You've never seen him get washed. But this time you predict that he's just going to get cooked. I have a hard time doing that. I have a real hard time doing that. We've never seen it happen to him. So I'm going to give Fabio Wardley a way better shot that people are giving him. I say that he can win this fight. Parker, again, Parker is the more experienced fighter, is the better boxer, but Mr. Fabio Wardley has the tools and resources to make it happen. So, if I had, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. If I have to place a bet right now, I'm gonna have to put my money on Parker. If I have to put my money on, it'll be on Parker. And I understand why he's the favorite. I myself see him winning the fight. But I'm expecting a very competitive fight. Unless, let's say Wardley runs out of gas and then Parker just start putting all type of hands on him, that's different. But as long as Wardley's in good shape, it's a good fight. This is a competitive fight. Now, is Joseph Parker going to outbox him, or is Wardley gonna press the action in such a way that this fight ends up in a knockout? And a knockout for either side. It's a good fight, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm looking forward to it. I can already see Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the crowd is going wild. He was trying to put harakiri on him. It's gonna be real. And this is one of those heavyweight showdowns where if it does turn into a slugfest, you're gonna see some brutal punches being landed by Fabio Wardley. Brutal combinations from Joseph Parker. You guys are gonna get the classic call from Jay Smith. I'm trying to tell you, this is gonna be a good one. And by the way, let's check out the card real quick. Let's check out the card. Wardley versus Parker card. Who's on the entire card? Here we go. Let me see. I think I found a promo with the maybe everybody else on the card. Northside, salute my brother. Well, who I got tonight, remember, it's not tonight, it's this afternoon, my peoples. Don't fall victim to missing out the whole thing because you thought it was going to be tonight. Remember, Northside, it is this afternoon. So I was just saying right now, I have to go with Parker. You know, he's the more experienced fighter, been in there with better opponents. So because of that, I have to go with Parker. But, and he's the better boxer too. I consider him, when I compare the two, I consider him the better boxer. But I was just showing everybody, my brother. And that's something that you have to take into consideration. Bro, Fabio Wardley is 19-0 with 10 knockouts. So, yes, he hasn't been in there with the same level of competition, but the power is real. And we all know at the heavyweight division, a guy with that type of power, it takes one big punch, one shot. So, for example, Parker could be outboxing him and even pitching a shutout during the first 5 rounds, and boom, a looping left hook to the melon is all over. So you cannot count Fabio Wardley out. Just can't do it. I think it is going to be a competitive fight. But Joseph Parker is the guy who has, like I said, not just the most experience, but the skill set too. Skills-wise, I say Joseph Parker got it. But again, man, look, I was looking at an interview yesterday where Fabio Wardley says, I'm going to knock him out. No matter what, I'm going to find a way to knock him out. That's his mindset going into this fight. So it's not me just telling you, oh, he's not going to be able to outbox him. He knows. He knows he's not walking out of there with a points decision over Joseph Parker. That's not happening. So he's going out there with, I'm going to knock you out mindset. Now, what happens when he pressed the action and Joseph Parker starts returning fire? Very good counterpuncher. Turns into a slugfest. That's what I'm saying, man. I don't know if it goes the distance. MAW, hello boxing fans, J in chat, subscribe, share, smash that like button. My brother, salute. Appreciate you dropping in, MAW. And yo, everyone who's been sharing the live, I appreciate y'all, man, for real. I've seen a few people sharing this live to other people, and even people telling me in the comments, oh, somebody shared it, appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. Yo, salute to everybody, man, that's sharing the Boxing for Breakfast live to other people. Just putting everybody on, man. Sharing the beautiful, sweet science early in the morning. It's a beautiful thing. Age of 17, like Ortiz versus Wilder. Jason Williams, Boxing for Breakfast, weekend edition. You know it, my brother. Peace to everyone in the building. Jason Williams, you know how we do it, my brother. The special edition for Saturday. Remember, Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker is going down in the daytime. It's going to be probably like 1 p.m. The card starts at 11 a.m. Eastern time, I think. If I'm not mistaken, y'all can fact check me. But this fight is in the afternoon, my people. Don't miss it. Don't go hanging around and get back home at 8 o'clock at night thinking you're going to watch boxing. You're going to be cooked if you do that. But again, my peoples, look at the records. Look at, you know, these are the two guys fighting each other, right? If you look at Fabio Wardley again, he ain't never tasted defeat. He don't know what it is to lose. And only one out of his 19 opponents survived. Everybody else got stopped. One guy went the distance. So I tell you a lot about his power. And then, of course, Joseph Parker, he has 36 wins, 24 knockouts. People forget about Joseph Parker's power. 24 knockouts, my people. Joseph Parker got more knockouts than Fabio Wardley has fights. That's why I'm trying to tell you that Wardley's going to press the action because he's not going to be able to outbox him. He's going to be looking for the knockout. But Joseph Parker's going to return fire. And he could put you out too. Come on now. Come on now, my peoples. Jason Williams, whoa, thanks. I thought it was later. You see, I'm glad you joined Boxing for Breakfast, and now you know. Because I've been a victim of this. I actually missed an entire card. Went out, hanging out. Get home 8 o'clock at night. Let me get my boxing in. Ooh, turn the TV on. Let's get it. Pop. And the first thing I see is the highlights from the fight. Missed the whole damn card. So I don't want that happening to nobody. Them fights that be in the UK and that be in Asia in the daytime may be crazy. So them fights that be at 7 in the morning, if you in the East Coast, crazy work. MAW, I'm leaning to Parker for that W based on experience, latest form, but Fabio Wardley definitely is there with that puncher's chance. And that's how I see it. And I said that before, you know, Parker has not just the more experience, but he's beaten, you know, higher level of opposition, obviously. That's going to be a factor. Flame 47, Bowie. I think I'm a lesbian. Trapped. Okay? Then we're going to go ahead and trap you in that black party. My peoples. we sending them to the black party early. Y'all know how we do it. We talking boxing. We talking boxing. MAW. That's how we do, man. We don't take too much time. Look, I'm gonna tell you guys like this, man. If I didn't block so many people, I already been had 3,000 subscribers, but that's why sometimes people think that you thirsty to get their view or you thirsty to get their subscription. It's like, man, you come here saying some goofy shit like that. Get the fuck out of here, like Agent 17 and JJ Sandel say all the time. Come on now, my peoples. We talking boxing. But I digressed. You know what? I'm gonna be honest, man. Maybe I shouldn't enjoy, you know, sending people to the block party. Maybe I shouldn't enjoy it. I'm gonna try to do that without having such satisfaction going forward. Okay, that shouldn't be a sense of satisfaction. Maybe I'm wrong with that. But let's get back to boxing. We're not hearing the goofballery. So, this card, my peoples, is going to have multiple fights, obviously. But, man, I'm not familiar. Honestly, my peoples, I'm not really familiar with the fighters who I see on the card. Look, Ezra Taylor versus Steel Woodham. Nah, I think, okay, they're both. Where's Fabio Wardley from? If anybody could tell me. I know he's from somewhere in Europe, but I'm not sure where. If anybody can put me on. Fabio Wardley, where he from? because Steve Wardle and Ezra Taylor, they from the UK. Okay, there you have it. So Steve Wardle and Ezra Taylor, they both from the UK as well. I gotta start getting more familiarized. Like there's a lot of UK fighters that I don't know that they're really good out there. Also, Juenjen Udendaj. Man, I don't know that flag. Rolly Lambert. I don't know that flag. I want to say where they from, man, but I don't recognize the flag. And Arnie Dawson and Mitchell Smith from the UK. Damn, my people, there's a lot of fights. There's a lot of fights. Oh, wait a minute. I'm looking at the prelims over here. I'm wilding. Here goes the main card. Okay, my people. Let me do it again, man. Let me do it again. I'm gonna do the main card for y'all. MAW. That's a good fight. One from Albania. Look. I'm gonna do the whole card, but I was doing it backwards. I'm gonna do it from the beginning, right? Which makes more sense. So the first fight of the main card, Arnie Dawson versus Michael Smith. Arnie Dawson is 8-0. Michael Smith is 18-1. Two good fighters, young fighters. One defeat between the both of them. Looks like it's going to be competitive. I don't know them. I'm just looking at the records. Second fight, Juengen Udendaj and Rolly Lambert. Juengen is 20-1. Rolly is 18-3-1. Fight number 2. Fight number 3. Damn, they didn't put the whole name for some reason. D. Quartermain versus R. Smith. Quartermain is 13-0. R. Smith 14-0. And then for the WBA Continental Gold Light Heavyweight title, Ezra Taylor, who's 12-0, versus Street Woodle, who's 23-1. That's the co-main event. And of course, the fight that we've been waiting for, the fight that I'm going to be calling live for you guys, Joseph Parker, 36-3 versus Fabio Wardley, 19-0. That's going to be for the interim WBO and interim WBA welterweight titles. So whoever wins this is going to be mandatory for 2 of the belts. Essentially, this is like a title eliminator, but it's not fair because I think that Joseph Parker should have got a title shot. He's on a run. However, he got Fabio Wardley in front of him. That's a fight he got to win. And I told you guys, this fight is going to be a lot tougher than people think. Fabio Wardley's not there to get washed. This guy, that's why I'm showing you the resume, because when you don't think about it, you haven't seen it in a long time, or something you're not really paying attention to, but you really think this guy's just going to get cooked easily? I mean, yes. You can say he ain't fight the best, or he hasn't beaten this guy or that guy, but he's beating good opponents. And only one out of his 19 opponents made it the distance. Everybody getting knocked out. Just yesterday I heard him say Joseph Parker getting knocked out. There's no other way around it. He's gonna find a way to knock him out. So a guy like this, my people, with that mindset, with that knockout ratio, with that type of power, and by the way, Fabio Wardley can take a shot, so he's gonna stand in there with you and trade. And he's gonna press the action, my people. He's gonna press the action. The thing is that we already know Joseph Parker got his own power. Which, by the way, why are people talking like Joseph Parker ain't got no power? 24 knockouts in 36 fights. That's pretty good power. And not only that, he's a very good counterpuncher. So that's why I know Parker is going to be the favorite to win this fight. He should win this fight. I would put my money on him. But all I'm saying, Fabio Wardley has the tools and resources, has the power to switch everything up in his favor. One punch. Boom! And from that point on, he can start winning rounds and win the fight, either by stoppage or by decision. Because you just gotta hurt somebody really bad, and they don't go back to being the same. That happens. But when you have the better boxer in front of you, it's hard to do that. That's why I say, yes, Joseph Parker has to be the favorite, and I expect him to win the fight. But it's gonna be more competitive than people think. This dude Fabio Wardley is going in there with destruction in his mind. Believe that. Man, ah shit, fly with his glasses, the mouth that. My peoples. This is gonna be, this is gonna turn into a slugfest. It really is. If you don't believe it, wait till this afternoon, not tonight. Once again, how do I know this is gonna turn into a slugfest? Right there. Look at the record for Fabio Wardley. 19 wins, 18 knockouts. Look at Joseph Parker. 36 wins. 36 wins, 24 knockouts. That's what tells me this fight is going to turn into a slugfest. Joseph Parker is the better boxer. He's going to box him. He's going to use the footwork. Fabio Wardley is going to apply that pressure. He's going to be on him. He's going to be looking to knock him out. Thus, Mr. Parker is not going to stand for that. He's not just going to stand there and just get beat up or be running around. Oh, he's going to box. And then he's going to trade. And one thing about Mr. Joseph Parker is that he's a very good counterpuncher. Very good counterpuncher, my people. Go get the money. What's the deal, my brother? Bam. Salute, my G. Let me know who you got. You got Joseph Parker. You got Fabio Wardley. Yo, so far, I think everyone is going for Joseph Parker. I don't think I've heard a single person say, yeah, Fabio Wardley got this. I haven't heard one, y'all. People don't got no faith in Fabio Wardley. But I'm telling you, damn, I don't want to say I don't got no faith in him. I can't say that because even though I would put my money on Parker, but I say he has a chance. Fabio Wardley has a chance to pull off the upset. Tough. The odds are against him. When you look at the competition that they faced, when you look at who's been on the bigger stage, those are all factors that come into play. Come fight now. It takes one punch, my peoples. It just takes one. And look, I've had a couple of people tell me, nah, because Fabio Wardley, he ain't beat nobody. That's why. Oh, he undefeated, but he ain't beat nobody. So I want to say something about my people, which I think you should all take into consideration. Most of us, if you're in the United States, for example, or on this side of the world, a lot of us don't follow UK boxing like that. So when you say this guy didn't beat nobody, but you don't know any of his opponents, you really don't know what you're talking about. You really don't know, because you don't know the skill level of the competition that he's faced. You're just assuming, well, I don't know nobody that he beat, so I guess he ain't nobody. But I'll give you a perfect example of that. Think about this fight that I'm about to, not this fight, I'm gonna show you an image, right? Not the fight. So you can see what I mean. You guys remember this fight? Bakram Mortasaliev versus Tim Tszyu. Y'all remember what Bakram did to Tim? You remember that fight? Bakram Mortasaliev gave Tim Tszyu the beating of a lifetime. Beat him up. Beat him up. But think about it, my peoples. Before Mortasaliev and Tszyu fought each other, none of us knew Bakram. We didn't know who he was. He was, fighting in small venues somewhere out there in his country or wherever he was fighting at in Europe. Fighting in small venues, in fights that were not televised, in fights that were, seen by people only locals. So if you were not over there where he's at, you have no idea how good he actually is. He caught all of us by surprise. Anybody who say, nah, I've been following Bakram Mortasaliev, you be lying. Unless you from where he from, you lying. We didn't know him. So not knowing a fighter does not mean that he's not good. Because if Tim Tszyu would have knocked out Bakram, a lot of people would have said that Bakram is a bum and a cherry pick. Just because you didn't know him. I don't know him. That's a bum. That Bakram guy, cherry pick, what a bum. And look what he did. MAW, people likely picking Parker because their pick influenced by Wardley struggling with Honey. But Honey is actually classy boxer, in my humble opinion. But that's what I'm trying to say too, my brother. That people judge fighters based on their star power and not their skill level. So instead of looking at what they're able to do inside the ring, they're just like, oh, well, he struggled versus this dude, and that's enough for me to determine. And it's not even like that. You simply have to look at the overall. Look, I'm putting it to you like this, MAW. That's the same as everybody that was saying that Terrence Crawford was going to lose to Errol Spence because look what Gamboa did to him. Little Gamboa did that to him. So, hey, Errol Spence is going to kill him. And then the same narrative came back when he was going to fight Canelo. Oh, well, imagine if Gamboa hurt him. Oh, when Canelo catches him. Same narrative. So at the end of the day, it is really about when those two fighters meet, what's going to happen then. MAW, Bakram right now is the 154 boogeyman. Nobody willing to take the risk after Bakram beat the brakes off of Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu underestimated Bakram and found out. Yeah, he definitely underestimated him. For sure. In fact, I think if they rematch, Tim has a chance to win that fight. But not the way that he fought him. He thought he was going to stand there and trade leather with the God. And that wasn't to be. That was a bad idea. I'm going to put it to you like this. Bad idea. Bakram Mortasaliev. But then again, we're saying Tim Tszyu found out. We all found out. We didn't know. We didn't know that's how he was gonna do it. So when you look at Fabio Wardley, in a way, he's like Bakram Mortasaliev to some people. And let me connect the dots so you can see. I'm not saying that they fight the same. They're not even in the same weight class. Nothing about that. But my point is, there's a lot of people who they've only seen Wardley versus a Hooney and maybe a couple of other highlights from other recent fights, and that's it. They don't really even know him like that. They haven't really watched his fights like that. And like I said, that's the case for a lot of people in the U.S. and on this side of the world. You know, the U.S., Canada, Mexico, North, South America, Central America. This side, a lot of people don't know fighters from the UK unless they're the biggest stars. So you think they just out there fighting bums, fighting nobodies? Nah, they fighting real good fighters, top-notch competition. So Ward versus Parker is gonna be a competitive fight. Ain't nobody getting washed. MAW, Tim Tszyu got a whole new team. We'll see how he goes next fight. I think he aiming for December. Hooney returning in December too. I'm gonna tell you what, man. Tim Tszyu is a fighter who I still believe in him. I'm an old school boxing fan, my peoples. I've been watching boxing and following it from when guys had 3, 4 losses and were still winning titles and were still had the support from the fans. So with Tim Tszyu's style and the way that he fights, I think that he's still gonna become a world champion at some point. I see Timmy becoming a world champion. So how is he gonna achieve that feat? Who's he gonna end up having to beat? I don't know. But that's how I see it, my peoples. You could take that from Jay Stradamus. Tim Tszyu is gonna become a world champion. One way or another, one division or another. And part of the reason why I tell you guys this is because to me, Tim Tszyu is almost a carbon copy of his pops. If you see him in the ring, if you see the things that he does, he's a little bit irresponsible defensively. Costa Tszyu was more, focused on the defensive side. But when it comes to the offensive firepower, the mechanics, the movements, Tim Tszyu is almost he's a carbon copy of his pops. MAW. Rumors, Triple D versus Sanchez. Thoughts? Is that fight happening? Or is it a rumor or is it happening? I'll tell you what, man, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Who do I have? I can't make a pick. You put me on the spot. But that's a good fight, my brother. That's a good fight. It's a good one. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who just tuned in, welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. This is actually a special edition. It's Saturday, right? Um, the fight is in the afternoon, my peoples. In the afternoon. The card is going to start like at around 11 in the morning Eastern time. Wardley versus Parker. They'll probably be getting in the ring probably 1 p.m. Eastern time, right around there. Do not miss the fights thinking that they're happening at nighttime. That's for those of us who are on this side of the planet. North, South America, Central America. Yep, it's in the daytime, my people. So I'm going to be eating lunch watching the fight. For me, I'm going to be, damn, what am I going to eat for lunch, my peoples? For a heavy, my peoples, make some suggestions, man. for a heavyweight showdown that's gonna turn into a slugfest, and I'm gonna be calling it. And it's gonna be devastating blow for Parker. What a shot from Wardley. Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it's getting brutal out here. What should I eat for that? Cause it's gonna be at lunchtime. I think. Let me see. I'm not gonna go with fast food. I'm not gonna go with pizza or, or something like that. Gotta be something more. I don't know, man. I don't know. But you gotta figure out for a heavyweight showdown what you're gonna eat. Agent 17. I don't know about you, but I'm eating an Italian sub. That, you know what? You could never really miss with an Italian sub. You know what I like about Italian subs? Think about this. Bro, you can have an Italian sub for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You can have an Italian sub for a snack at any time of the day. You can't go wrong with that. Robert Tompkins, what's up, bro? Let's go. My people, Parker versus Wardley. How you got this fight? Do you got this fight going the distance? You got a knockout. Who's gonna win? So far, it seems like everybody has Joseph Parker winning the fight. Most people have it going the distance in Parker's favor, and a few have told me that Parker's gonna stop him. Wardley not getting nobody believing in him. So far, honestly, my people, I don't think a single person has been on here to say that they have Fabio Wardley winning the fight. I haven't seen it. Have not seen it, my people. Is there anybody? Anybody's gonna speak on behalf of Fabio Wardley? Now, I gotta keep reminding y'all. I gotta keep doing it. Make sure y'all understand who you're writing off. That's the guy that you're writing off, my peoples. 19 wins, 18 knockouts. There's the guy that you're writing off. He ain't never lost. Knocked out the overwhelming majority of his opponents. And just yesterday, I watched the interview where he said, I'm gonna knock Parker out. He's not going the distance. I'm not gonna allow it to happen. I'm gonna find a way to knock him out. That's his mindset going into this fight. So I already know, and you should already know, this dude is gonna press the action. This is a heavyweight fight between two guys who got knockout power. And you're gonna have one in Joseph Parker, who's the better boxer, who has the better footwork. But he got power. It seems like people dismissing his power because everybody's saying it goes the distance. Yo, Joseph Parker has 36 wins and 24 knockouts. He got power. So when you have a guy who's gonna press the action because he's trying to knock you out, and you have a power puncher who's, by the way, a very good counter puncher. Damn, that shit even rhyme. A power puncher, counter puncher. My peoples, am I writing rap songs over here? I'm cooking in such a way that I'm writing rap songs over here. This is a power puncher, counter puncher. Right here. So that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's going to turn into a real good fight because you're going to have Wardley pressing the action, and then you're going to have Parker, who's a very good counterpuncher, who got power. I don't know if that fight goes the distance. I think it's going to turn into a slugfest. Early. Robert Tompkins. Great fight. I'm telling you, man. We're about to get some serious action. Yo, Rob, just in case, remember, it's in the afternoon. If you're in North, South, Central America, if you're in this side of the planet, the fight goes down at around 1 p.m. Eastern time. The card is gonna start like at 11 in the morning. Letting you guys know so that you don't miss the whole damn thing thinking it was gonna be at nighttime. I've been a victim of that myself, my peoples. Could you imagine that? I'm gonna watch a great fight. I'm looking forward to it. I go hang out, go to the basketball court, go to the bar, come home. Yeah, let me watch my boxing. Let's get it. Grab my remote, set everything up, turn the TV on. Bam! The fight is over. They showing the highlights. It been over. Missed the whole card. That's the real devastating blow, my peoples. So make sure you understand. Don't be a victim of that situation. Make sure you understand the fight is in the afternoon. Be ready for that action. Your boy Jay Smith is gonna call it for you guys. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm gonna eat. By the way, I for a heavyweight showdown that I believe is gonna turn into a slugfest. I need some type of food, man. Like I think I need something that I gotta grab with my hands. Like Viking mode. A lo vikingo. That's what they say. Like the Vikings. Devastating blow. Ladies and gentlemen. So I don't know what I'm gonna eat for lunch, but it has to coincide with the type of fight that we're about to witness, my people. Because it's gonna be a good heavyweight showdown. Ooh. And I'm gonna say this. This is a title, like basically a title eliminator, because it's for the interim belt for two different sanctioning bodies, by the way. What is the interim for? I feel like Parker should have been got a title shot. He's gonna have to get through Wardley, and maybe he gets Usyk right after. Let's see how this plays out, my people. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, your boy Jay Smith, I am going to be live. I'm going to be calling this fight. Get this action, my peoples. Listen, for those of you who have not seen me calling the fights, tune in. Tune in. Devastating blow, ladies and gentlemen. That was a left hook right to the kisser. Get ready. I'm going to be calling it. I'm going to be calling it. And I'm going to be giving you the elite level calls. Robert Tompkins, bro, I will be working, but we'll be listening to you when it come on. Tune in, my brother. I feel you. I feel you. Got to get that bread. Salute to you, my brother. Got to get that bread. Get that paper. If you find a way to tune in, even if you're going to listen in, that's what's up. And you know that I give you the play-by-play. So you're not going to be watching the fight. But listening in, I promise you, you're going to feel like you're in the front row. I'm going to give you every blow, my G. and my peoples, listen, even though I'm going to give you every blow of what's going to happen in this fight, hold on. I'm looking for something, and that's not what I'm looking for. Even though I'm going to give you every blow of what's going to happen in this fight, based on the argument that we was having yesterday, I just want to give you guys a friendly reminder that Terrence Crawford is, in fact, the face of boxing. He is. People have to stop getting upset with me because I said that. Let me ask you a question. Are you upset with Jerome Booth Ennis? He said that Crawford is the face of boxing. Does that bother you? Are you upset with the other fighters who are saying, yo, he's the face of boxing? That's it. Robert Tompkins, yes, sir, all day. That's the reality. People are having a hard time accepting that Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing because, number one, they started hating him even more after he beat Errol Spence. I think the way he pummeled Errol Spence is part of it. If you spend 3 months saying Errol Spence is too big, Errol Spence is too strong, Crawford is not going to be able to handle the power. Does all that sound familiar? They should have learned back then. But the hate for Terrence Crawford went from here to here. when he beat Errol, when he gave him the Swiss, the Dre, and the respective Apple beats, the hate went like this and expanded. But now, when he made Canelo look like a Taco Bell second shift burrito roller, that hate went from that to an astronomical level of hate. But that's what happened with Floyd Mayweather. Remember when Floyd showed up in that Mexican outfit and he beat Oscar De La Hoya? He became the face of boxing pretty much instantly. Pretty much instantly. When Floyd Mayweather beat Oscar De La Hoya, I think he was the face of boxing as he was walking off the ring already. I don't even think he had finished leaving the ring when he was already the face of boxing. Right there, the torch was passed. Well, this is the same type of situation. Over 40 million people watch you beat Canelo like your stepchild. That's it. You're the face of boxing. Juan Ocasio, is this new age people hate to hate? If it was in the 90s before social media, Crawford would be revered. My goodness, bro. If this was in the 90s, Crawford would be already seen as the same way that Mayweather was seen when he was running the show. He would have already been seen as that guy. Like, yeah, yo, he's the dude. Dixon, them boys with hating on Bud for about 6 years straight. Ah, but you said the key right there, Dixon 918. Let me respond to that, my G. Think about this for a second. If you got all them years that you've been hating on Crawford, all them years that he didn't fight nobody, that Sean Porter's done, that Errol Spence, the car accident, that Amir Khan was not good, that Kell Brook, he was not good anymore, that everybody else you found somehow some way to diminish and discredit. Now, he gets to Canelo Alvarez, and you're saying he's too small. Canelo's going to kill him. He's only there for a payday. Imagine you having to watch this man after you said all that. And you've been saying it for years. You've been discrediting, diminishing for all these years. Imagine now you tune in for your glory of when you finally get to watch Canelo Alvarez not Terence Crawford out. You're going to show us all that Terence Crawford is not who we thought he was. And this the shit you got to watch. That's what you got to watch. After 6 years of hating, it all boiled down to this. So, if you've been hating on Terence Crawford, it's hard for you to accept anything that he does, even when you say he was going to get knocked out and he does that. People just can't accept it. They shell-shocked. MS, getting me hungry, J. Smith, says second shift Taco Bell burrito roller. I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you. MS. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Right there, Canelo got made to look like a Shaolin master. Put on a white beard. I'm wildin'. Chill. Hold on. Cause that's not politically correct these days. I might get canned for that one. My bad, my peoples, to any community that may not appreciate that joke. But then again, Mexicans practice Kung Fu too. I'm standing on it. He looked like a Kung Fu master. MS. Did you listen to the Eric Gomez interview when he said they protected Canelo from the black style all throughout because they knew it was dangerous style for him? I did not listen to it, but if you think about it, it's not necessarily that they protected him from the black style. They protected him from slick fighters, from fighters who have great footwork. They tried to match him up with guys who's gonna stand there and bang with him. Cause Canelo, he needs you to cooperate. And what I mean cooperate, he needs you to stand there and fight with him so that he can look good. That's why he didn't look good versus William Skull. Skull didn't cooperate. He used too much footwork. Canelo can't cut the ring to save his life. That's why it played out that way. So if you look at Kirkland, the Kirkland guy that he got power, Canelo knocked him out with the brutal. He is a guy that's gonna stand with you and bang. So if you look at Lara, though, he gave Canelo a lot of problems, and they wasn't trying to replicate an opponent like that. So yes, they stayed away from fighters who's gonna outbox him. Dixon, no wait, they still say Boots got a better resume than Bud, which imagine that. Right now, Crawford, his resume right now is unrivaled by any other fighters that his haters support. They don't even bring up the same people that say that in one argument. In a different argument with somebody else, they'll be like, Boots ain't fight nobody. He ain't beat nobody. They still doing that shit to Boots. Robert Tompkins. After he beat Canelo, they said Canelo was washed. Super hate. Bro, imagine telling people for 3 months that Canelo's gonna knock him out. And the next day after the fight, you're like, nah, yo, Canelo, he not the same no more, man. You know, if it would have been before, but it's just not the same. God damn. The level of hate for Terence Crawford is to the point where there's people that could never accept his greatness. They'll never accept it. Juan Ocasio, bro turned into IP man. Yo, you're gonna have to answer at the pearly gates for that one. When you get to the pearly gates, they're gonna be like, yo, what was this joke all about, fam? They're gonna have to Northside, Bud wants 50 mils to fight Boots. Nah, you made that up. Either you made that up out of thin air or somebody lied to you. Who lied to you, Northside? Who told you that? Somebody lied to you. Crawford is literally on video saying, I'm not gonna go to 154. The ship has sailed. That fight is not happening. I'm not fighting him. So, like, I don't know who lied to you, but if you tell me who lied to you, I'll tell him myself. You a liar. Don't lie to the North Side like that. I don't appreciate it. Timmy T, a lot of people thought Skull beat Canelo. That's facts. That's facts. He was putting all type of hands on him and dancing around him. And just think about this, man. William Skull is big as hell. Big as hell. And you couldn't catch him. This guy filled up the whole ring. But again, Canelo has shown to have problems with tall fighters who got great footwork. William Skull, Erislandis Lara, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather's not tall, but he's taller than Canelo, and he has longer reach. Look at the coincidence, my peoples. Watch this. Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol, Terence Bud Crawford. All 3 of them, great footwork, longer reach than Canelo. Do you see a pattern? So yes, they stayed away from that type of fight. Of course they did. Once he got beat the way he was beat by Floyd Mayweather, they knew this is not a good matchup for us. Erislandis Lara did not turn out to be a good matchup. A lot of people felt he won that fight against Canelo. Northside, do you think Turkey will pay Bud 50 mil for the Boost fight in Saudi? I think that that fight is not gonna happen because Crawford said it's not gonna happen. I don't know why you keep pushing. You see, what happened is Northside that you thought Canelo was gonna beat Crawford. You said for months Canelo was gonna beat him out. Canelo was gonna knock him out. Canelo was gonna make him look easy. So now when you see this picture, all you want is Crawford to fight somebody bigger. All you want is Crawford to fight somebody that you think is gonna avenge that ass whooping. So you keep saying Boots, 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 Boots. Northside, forget about Boots. That fight is not gonna happen. You wasted your time, and you wasted my time explaining it to you over and over. Terrence Crawford will not move down to 154. Jerome Boots Ennis is not gonna move up. They're not gonna fight each other. That ship has sailed. Stop trying to push that narrative because I know you want it badly, but it's not gonna happen. Let it go, my guys. It's just not gonna happen. Timmy T, great footwork. Yup. That's like Canelo's kryptonite. A fighter who's gonna have that reach advantage on him, combined with the footwork, Canelo's gonna be in trouble. Because if you look at the three guys who beat him, and then you add Erislandis Lara to that mix, who people felt beat him, you also add William Score into that mix, who people also felt beat him. All five of those fighters. Height, reach, great footwork. They all gave him serious problems. All of them. Este, low key, salute. Bam. Dixon, what's up with this boost shit? Those boys are old EJ fans, and they really still hurt. I'm telling you. It's like, and I said this before, Terrence Crawford beating Errol Spence made the hate that he had, it went from this to that. But then, when Terrence Crawford beat Canelo Alvarez, that hate went from that to an astronomical level of hate, where they want to keep matching them with somebody else. Go fight this guy, go fight this guy, go fight that guy. Man, I saw a guy already putting together a tournament of the guys that need to fight each other so that they could get Crawford afterwards. Like, come on, man. Orange Man Fan Club. What's Buzz next fight? I mean, right now, we don't know. We can make assumptions. I believe that he might go to the 160 division and try to, become a champion there. Because you have to understand, there's a historical relevance, okay, to what Crawford is accomplishing. Right now, he's a 5-division champion. It's a very small list of 5-division champions. Very small, which includes Floyd Mayweather. Well, if he wins a title in a 6th division, that list includes 2 fighters who won titles in 6 divisions or more. Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao. That means just winning one title at 160 would make Terrence Crawford only the 3rd fighter in the history to win titles in 6 divisions or more. It would be Crawford, De La Hoya, and Pacquiao. Only them 3. He would have won more titles in more divisions than Floyd Mayweather. So that's your answer, the North Side. Boots right now is a fighter at 154 who hasn't even won a title yet. And Terrence Crawford is accomplishing all-time greatness. He's not going to try to go fight Boots to satisfy you and a few other Errol Spence and Canelo fans that are hurt and want to see that fight. He's not going to do that. He's accomplishing greatness. So winning a title in a 6th division is a lot bigger to his resume than going to beat Boots to make you happy. And adding another name that then you're probably going to say, well, Boots just wasn't ready. He should have fought him at 147. He didn't fight him at the right time. You're going to find a way to hate on that one anyways. Dixon. Not once have they said Boots and David Benavidez. And Boots is supposed to be the new face of boxing in years to come. That's the thing, that when you become Jason Williams, it's irrational hate. It's the type of hate. No, I call it in the closet hate. because they hate, but they don't want to be honest about the hate. Northside could just say, yo, I don't like Crawford. I want him to fight somebody that I think could beat him. And that's it. You put it all out there and it's over. But instead, they have to find angles to hate differently. I have never seen Northside telling us who Tank Davis should fight. I've never seen Northside telling us that Tank Davis needs to fight Shakur or that Tank Davis needs to fight Teofimo Lopez. Why? Because according to Northside and those fans, Tank Davis could just fight for money. He don't gotta fight nobody. Now Terrence Crawford needs to fight the best. Terrence Crawford and Shakur Stevenson needs to fight the best. So yes, it's also irrational hate, Jason Williams. Lazaro Olano, but undisputed at middleweight, 4-time undisputed. That would be insane, bro. That would be. Look, I'm gonna put it to you like this, Lazaro. And some people think it's controversial, some people accept it. And I stand on it. I say that comfortably. With Terrence Crawford beating Canelo Alvarez and becoming 3-time undisputed champion, right now, he is top 10 all-time great. Today, right now, in my opinion. Should he win a title in a 6th division, surpassing Floyd Mayweather in that aspect, in that category, he's all-time great, top 5. Top 5 all-time great. By winning one title, just one, top 5 all-time great. If he goes for undisputed and accomplishes that feat in a 4th division, we're going to have to have a conversation about whether or not Terrence Crawford is the greatest fighter of all time. Because he's going to accomplish something that is probably going to be unreachable. You see Will Chamberlain's 100 points? This might be that. We might never see somebody do that again. So we're going to have a conversation about whether or not he's actually the greatest of all time if he does that. And stay low key. A loss to Bud would have greater negative impact on Bull's career than it would on Bud's. I don't think so. When two great fighters fight, it happens. But when a fighter has accomplished, like Crawford, like Canelo, like, anybody like that, a loss doesn't really affect their legacy at all. It's just at the time that they're active, people say, oh, he lost. But after they retire, nobody give a damn about that. They gave them their flowers. If you look at all the old-time greats, nobody give a damn about how many times Ali lost. Only the hater. Oh, Ali lost. But people understand that he's the greatest or one of the greatest of all time, regardless of his losses. Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Duran, Joe Frazier. Come on now, Oscar De La Hoya, Tito Trinidad. Like, most of the greatest fighters of all time lost multiple times. So if Crawford and Boots was to fight, whoever loses, they still going to go on to have a great career. That fight is simply not going to happen. It's simply not going to happen. So I know you hate Crawford. I know you want to see him fight somebody. But let it go, man. That hate just pouring from your pores. Let it just dry out already. Dixon, no matter what Bud do, it's still 5 channels out there that really hate him. And that's sad that they on the wrong side of history. Bro, they on the way, way wrong side of history. You know why they on the wrong side of history? Because these are the same people that in 10, 15, 20 years, they be lying to everybody. These are the same people that will be telling everybody, oh, I knew Crawford was great. I know he was the greatest of the era. I used to be you think in 20 years, these people are going to tell everybody, yeah, I used to be bashing Crawford all the time, and I always downplayed him. Once the world recognized him as one of the greatest, they just going to quietly mix in with the crowd. Yeah, we all knew what he was. That's how they do it. Look at Floyd Mayweather. Where's all the people who hated on him his whole career and say he wasn't great? Now everybody knew he was great. Now you ask 100 people, 100 people, oh, I knew he was great. Oh, shit. When he made his pro debut, I knew he was great. Now everybody knew Floyd was great. So watch how in 10 years to 20 years, everybody knew Crawford was great. That's how you know people in the wrong side of history. North side, who at 160 is the bigger fight? Everybody who holds a title. Every single body who holds a title who's going to get them more accomplishments. Who gives them no accomplishments? That's easy, Northside. Come on now. Superman. One, he doesn't. Robert Tompkins, Northside. You talking dumb. Boots is 154, not 160. What are you saying? Like, I don't know what's going on with Northside. Like, he's placing Boots in his own division. Boots done called out everybody at 154. He's trying to accomplish. But Northside, I don't know. Northside, let us know if you Boost manager, if you're in the team, and you could just decide to put him in a division where you want him to fight. Because you just sounded like somebody who don't know shit about boxing and just can't accept that Terrence Crawford is the face of boxing, bro. You keep wanting badly to happen something for somebody who isn't even in the division. Come on, bro. Stop. Just let it go, Northside. It's not going to happen. Let it go. Move on. Move past it. Don't get yourself cooked. Late Show. What's up, Jay Smith? Salute, Late Show. Man, I'm doing my best not to cook Northside, man. But he dying to get cooked out here. AG 206. Ain't nobody at 160 a bigger money fight than Bud fighting Boots. Stop the cap. AG 206. You said the key. You said bigger money fight. Who's talking about bigger money fights? You see, AG, what you're not understanding is that's you pocket watching fans. The pocket watchers, I know you a Tank fan. I know you one of the ones that be like, we would do the same thing too. We would fight Jake Paul. There you go, bringing up money. Not once has anybody brought up money, AG. We talking about accomplishments. You know, world titles. You know, Terrence Crawford is a 5-division champion, and winning a title in a 6th division will get him over Floyd Mayweather in that accomplishments. He would win more titles in more divisions than Floyd Mayweather by winning in 6. He would join an elite company of only 2 people who won 6 titles or more, in Oscar De La Hoya and Manny Pacquiao. So winning titles in 6 divisions has a more historical relevance. Then it's a bigger money fight than Boots. Nobody makes more money than Boots. You see, when you don't know shit about boxing, you're thinking about money. Terrence Crawford is a millionaire. He has generational wealth, and he's making a lot of millions of dollars. He's been making millions of dollars for over 10 years. So you probably got a 9-to-5 job, making less than $100,000 a year, and you want to argue about millions? Stop with the goofballery, man. Boxing for breakfast is where you're going to learn that you don't need to argue about money. You sound like a goofball. Don't get cooked with the goofballery, bro. Dixon 918. Why do they think that's big money fight Boost don't got no money? Eddie not going back with him. Like, that's why he lowball everybody else. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. They keep making these assumptions. Just because Terrence Crawford did this, they hate him a lot more. Let's keep it real. That is because of that. If he wouldn't have put that type of beats on Canelo, they wouldn't hate him that way. They wouldn't hate him that way. Let's be realistic. Juan Ocasio, I don't see Bud going down to 154 again. Bro, he literally said those exact words. I am not going down to 154. I'm not fighting Boots. He actually said those words. Watch this, watch this. 2 things. Terrence Crawford said he's not fighting Boots. And recently, Boots said he's not going to fight me. He's the face of boxing. He earned the fight, the right to fight whoever he wants. That's it. The fight's not happening. So how much hate can somebody have for Crawford that they keep trying to push a fight that even the fighters are saying is not gonna happen? Come on now. Gary Quirk says boxing is dead. Welcome to the block party. Bam. Welcome to the block party. You killing it. Superman, goofballery. I love these words. J. Smith, make up. Listen, you could say I made it up, but you agree with it though. I bet you agree that it's goofballery to try to keep imagining fights that are not gonna happen just because you hate Crawford. It gotta feel like goofballery to you. Timmy T, Northside, Eubanks versus Ben. It's at 160. I don't know, man. I don't know, Timmy T. I think Northside, one of these fans that go to Chat GPT and start looking up stuff and copy pasting and saying stuff based off of that. It don't sound like somebody that know about boxing. Insta low key, Parker or Wardley, J. Smith. Ooh, look, I'm gonna be honest. Insta low key, Wardley is the favorite, and I got him winning the fight. I mean, Parker is the favorite, and I got him winning the fight. He's the better boxer, but I do give Wardley a chance. Very hard puncher. He can fight. The guy has a record of 19 wins with 18 knockouts. So I give him a puncher's chance. Just yesterday, I seen him say, I'm going to knock him out. He's not going the distance. Not going the distance. So we got to see it. We got to see it, my peoples. Superman. Ask TBV why they keep asking about it, and Bomac was on there yesterday, spazzing because he didn't like what they were saying. Orange Man Fan Club, get that merch going. Y'all gonna be seeing that Box Center merch soon, my peoples. And it's gonna be fire. And it's gonna be fire. Timmy T, I don't care about draining himself. Lots of fighters do that. Devin at 135 and Benavides at 168. However, they still fought at those weight classes. Bro, listen. People bringing up draining to try to formulate arguments, that just means you don't have a good argument. You don't have a good argument because, almost every single fighter at one point drained themselves to make weight. Almost every, if you've been involved in boxing at any capacity, bro, Tank walk around at around 160 and he be making 135. You think he don't drain himself? He haven't been draining himself for years to make that 135? Why you think he moving up? You think he moving up to 140 because he just wants to? No, because he can't keep making 135 at 30 years old anymore. So fighters do that all the time. But fans pick and choose who they want to bring up with that. Or no, for some people, he a weight bully. But for some people, he draining himself. He just draining himself. So that's actually a real dumb argument to make about the draining. Because you don't know a fighter's body. You don't know how he feels. You don't know how he's reacting to it. Goofballery. More of it. Timmy T, Eubank Jr. in UK brings more money to the table over Boots easy. Oh, no, that's facts. That's facts. Eubanks Jr. in the UK is a way bigger star than Boots. That is facts. Him, his father, they're his pops is royalty over there. So that you talking facts. AG 206. It's at 160, and that's Eubank Jr. to make weight. He missed weight last fight. Even his dad don't want him draining himself to make 160. Listen, if fighters sign a contract to fight, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear no excuses. Eubank put the beats on Conor Ben in the last fight. Put all type of punches on him. So, I don't want to hear it. Timmy T, Eubank Ben rematch is at 160. Timmy T, Boost fans, man. It's not just Boost fans because, look, Errol Spence fans became Canelo fans. Tank Davis fans became Canelo fans. Boost fans became Canelo fans. Canelo fans was already Canelo fans. So all of them combined went against Crawford and got their feelings hurt. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Timothy J. Smith, I see Boots. Fans are mad about it. They mad, my peoples. AG, some slow MFs in the chat. We all know it's at 160. Dixon, Boots is not going to be able to fight them boys at 160 like he was fighting at 147. So I'm going to tell you like this. And I'm going to give you something that's actually realistic. Right? This, I'm going to give you the realistic. Jerome Boots Ennis is a fighter who's trying to accomplish. He's already done with Crawford. He already understands. Unlike goofy ass fans, he already understands that that fight is not going to happen. He knows it. So his focus is accomplishing in the 154 division. He's going to try to become undisputed. Thus, you're going to see him trying to fight the champions, trying to unify titles. That's going to take some time. He's going to be at 154. He just moved up there. He's going to make that weight comfortably. He's going to be at 154 for 1 or 2 years, trying to collect those belts. 1 or 2. Not 1 year, because obviously in 1 year, you're not going to collect the belts. He's going to be there 2 to 3 years, trying to get those titles. And he's either going to be successful in becoming undisputed if he doesn't take a L, or he might have multiple titles, but politics get in the way of another unification, and he leaves the division. By the time Boots goes to 160, Crawford may not even be active anymore, may have already been retired. He's going to be at 154 for some time. He's not just going to jump out of the division to satisfy a few fans that just keep saying, Boots Crawford, Boots Crawford. That's just not going to happen. Okay? It's not even realistic. So at the end of the day, the ship has sailed. People know that Boots was offered that fight on BLK Prime. Boots versus Crawford could have happened on BLK Prime. And Bozy turned it down. They said, nah, we're going to be loyal to Showtime and Steven Espinoza. Now the ship has sailed. They're in 2 different weight classes. So Northside said Bud don't want Boots smoke. So he's saying that Crawford doesn't want to smoke with a guy that's not even his same division. You're angry, Northside. Oh, my bad, my bad. My bad. My bad, Northside. I didn't mean to block you. I didn't mean to block you, Northside. My bad. I didn't mean to block you. But you're angry. You're very angry. You need a 24-hour timeout. So you could come back when it's a different subject. This subject is not for you. You're too angry. It triggers you. Robert Tompkins, bro, I'm not convinced that just me still needs to see him fight a top 5 fighter. Let's keep it 100. Robert Tompkins, are you referring to Jerome Boots Ennis? Best fight for Boots is Carlo. That will help him. So, yeah, so you're saying you're not convinced about Boots? So I'm going to tell you this, Robert Tompkins. And this is my take. Jerome Boots Ennis is going to be the only reason Jerome Boots Ennis is not going to be the face of boxing. You know why Jerome Boots Ennis is not going to be the face of boxing? Because Shakur Stevenson is too far ahead of him in accomplishments. You know, before Boots became a champion, Shakur was already a multi-division champion, a unified champion. And now still, you know, Boots won a title in one division, won a couple of titles and moved up, but he's not more accomplished than Shakur. Shakur's already on the pound-for-pound list, right? So he's going to get to that #1 spot. But I'm telling you, Robert Tompkins, at one point you're going to see Shakur Stevenson and Jerome Boots Ennis battling it out for that #1 spot. Why? It's going to be kind of like what we see now with Usyk, Inoue, and Crawford, where each one got a big win and they kept shifting. Bam, bam, bam. until Crawford got the biggest win that you could possibly get. So now Crawford is locked into that number one spot. Well, it's gonna be like that with Boots and Shakur. They're gonna be battling it out for that number one spot. And then eventually somebody's gonna get some type of win that's gonna get them locked in. Timmy T, Backrum, Virgil, and Fondora are my favorite opponents for Jerome Boots Ennis. I agree. Those are the guys I want to see him fight. Right there. And I want to see him fight Virgil next. Which, by the way, my peoples, by the way, Bozy himself told me we signed a contract to fight Virgil next. They want to fight Virgil. So while this goofball keeps saying that he got to fight Crawford and pitting Crawford against Boots, a real possible matchup is Boots versus Virgil in early 2026. You can actually get that fight, my peoples. I want it. Timmy T, North Pole is out here. Come on, man. Flip. When are people going to become fans of the sport instead of being fans of the man? Shaking my head. I don't understand, man. I don't understand. And when are people going to start appreciating greatness? It's about appreciating greatness, bro. This is greatness right here. Some people going to have to wait till he's retired and 10 years later to fake it and be like, yeah, I know he was great too, yeah. Juan Ocasio, what do you think about Cruz Murataya? That's a good fight. Bro, we have to talk about that fight. We have to, that's going to be the main topic of conversation for a Boxing for Breakfast episode. Murataya versus Cruz. I really like that fight. I got Andy Cruz beating Murataya though. But it's a real good fight. And it's entertaining. But that fight that's not a side conversation type of fight, bro. We really got to dig into that one. Dixon, Boots better hurry up and fight Virgil before Virgil get that Canelo status. Listen, man. Virgil and Boots, they're both superstar material. They both have intangibles to be superstars. As Crawford starts to, retire and step away from boxing, you're going to see them being some of the guys that are out there, along with Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. Just Do Boxing in the building. Salute, my brother. Bam. I'm out here still battling it out. People don't want to accept it. Just Do Boxing. That this man right here is the face of boxing. They can't cope with it. And by the way, Just Do Boxing, you probably know this, but just in case, and for those of you who just tuned in, Joseph Parker versus Fabio Wardley is going to be like at around 1 p.m. Eastern time. The card is going to start at around 11 in the morning Eastern time. So if you're in the East Coast, matter of fact, if you're in North, South, Central America, if you're in this side of the planet, the fight is in the afternoon. Let's make sure you don't miss it because you thought it was going to be at nighttime. Dixon, Boo Boo never got that fight at 54 or 60. And he tried to get it. They didn't give it to him. Canelo didn't give it to him. I'm going to tell you what. I think Boo Boo made a mistake when he ran up on Canelo in that press conference. Remember, after he won the fight and he went there to call him out and everything. I think that didn't play out the way he wanted it to. I think he honestly, because he was being respectful, right? He honestly wanted to call out Canelo and maybe generate a back and forth and interest in the fight. And he just pissed Canelo off, and Canelo went off like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You're a horrible fighter. Horrible fighter. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker. So you piss Canelo off, and your possibility of making the fight happen just disappeared. Just Do Boxing. That's my best Canelo impersonation right there. Just Do Boxing. Talk to him. I was giving Bud his just due yesterday. They be mad when people celebrate Bud Crawford greatness. It's the weirdest shit I ever seen. It's too many fake boxing fans. And I don't understand it, my brother. Like, you know what's crazy, Just Do Boxing? The craziest part about this, and I promise you, in 10 years, when it's all said and done, and the world is acknowledging Crawford as one of the greatest of this generation and all time, those same people, they're gonna blend in with everybody. And they're gonna be like, yeah, I knew he great. I knew he was gonna be one of the greatest. You think they're gonna be out there in 10 years like, damn, yo, I hated on that guy for like 6 years straight, man. I was hating. I was saying that he wasn't that good. I was trying to diminish his opponent, and I was wrong, man. Now he one of the greatest. Damn. You think they're gonna say that? Nah, they're gonna blend in with everybody and try to say that they knew he was great and they knew he was gonna do all these things. And they was Team Crawford from day one. Nasty work. My peoples, I'm about to end this special edition episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Salute to everybody, man. Superman, Dixon 918, Juan Ocasio, Just Do Boxing. Everybody else who tune in, man. Timmy T. Flip was in the building. Flip was in the building representing Eric Gomes, Robert Tompkins. Y'all already see it, my peoples. Remember, this afternoon, I'm going to be calling the fight live. Let's enjoy the show. I don't know what I'm going to eat, my peoples. For a heavyweight showdown that's going to turn into a slugfest, what do you eat? Do you eat like a steak? You got to eat like some manly stuff. You can't be eating nothing sweet for a fight like this, of this magnitude. Superman, we here, fam. You already know. My brother, you see it, man. We out of here. I'm going to see you guys later. I appreciate every one of you. And I got to let you know, man, it's Saturday morning. Saturday morning. It's about to be 10 in the morning here in the Dominican Republic. Wherever you are, it's probably early, too. For you guys to take a little bit of your time to spend it with me, to talk boxing with me, my peoples, honestly, man, I'm humble. It's a privilege and a humbling experience to have you guys tap in with me this early in the morning on a Saturday. I'm going to see you guys in the afternoon. Let's enjoy the fight, my peoples. Fabio Wardley versus Joseph Parker is going down. I'm going to see you later, my peoples. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I need something that feels tough for me to eat. Nothing fruity. My peoples, I'm going to see y'all later, man. One love to everybody. Bam.